Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, February the 26th. Race number 4 at Gulfstream Park. Let's throw up the field. It's a nice maiden special weight for 4-year-olds and up, going a 1-turn mile. You can download free Formulator past performances for the race of the day on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. We'll take a look at the Timeform US pace projector and stretch out sprinter, the number 2, Beau Luminary, I believe can make the lead from the newly blinkered number 3, Vinestone.
I think so, too. It'll be interesting to see how this horse does. I think they got him as the right favorite, Dan, off his last race. If he takes even a small step forward, he's going to be pretty tough to beat here.
I agree with you. Let's start off with the number 1, who's not on your Timeform US pace projector. That's because he's a first-time starter and a well-bred one at that. Unilateral was a $190,000 buyback as a yearling, but then the following month went through the auction ring and sold for $400,000. The sire Curlin wins 15% with older debut runners. The dam was a grade 2 place synthetic sprinter, and the dam's a full to a grade 3 synthetic stakes winner at 1.1 miles. Lots of gaps, though, in this work tab. That bothers me, Mike.
That bothers me, too. And it's always tough to, debut going a 1-turn mile, especially for a horse like him. He's a newly turned 4-year-old. They've had some trouble, obviously, getting him to the races, but he's here now. We'll see what he does. He's not my kind of horse. He's 4-1 on the line. I probably wouldn't take that price on him, but he certainly has enough pedigree to be a runner.
Beau Luminary at 5-2 did a lot of good things in his most recent start. He was returning off of a lengthy layoff. We'll watch the race right now. He made a big move on the outside into the teeth of this 1-5 favorite. This 1-5 favorite is pretty good. The number 5 Fearless coming back to win a non-winners of one other than by 8 1/4 lengths with a 99 Beyer speed figure. Beau Luminary, despite the layoff, took a good shot at this horse and only fell 3/4 of a length shy. Stretching out, he's going to show some speed. He's probably the horse to catch and beat. How concerned are you about him getting the mile?
I mean, I'm not going to worry about the mile at this point. We'll see how he handles it down the line. He ran well enough in that race we just watched to make him the horse to beat here, Dan. Like you, I thought he ran well, and it seems like Fearless could be pretty good. So we'll see what happens. I have no problem with him being the horse to beat, but I don't know if he's invincible in this race.
Number 3, Vinestone, has been knocking on the door. This is an Oregon bred by Grindstone. He's at the board in his last 3 races, albeit against maiden claimers. Let's watch his most recent star on February the 16th. He's in front in the red silks right now, and he's just not going to be able to see out this trip. It's somewhat of a disappointing loss, considering that he's taking a big step up in class here.
Right. I mean, I didn't, see the excuse here, and it certainly didn't make me want to bet him back as he steps up in class.
Blinkers on for trainer Joe Canonese, and he could show some speed. He's also cross-entered at Gulfstream Park on Thursday. Derby Date is the number 4, and Derby Date has some excuses for his races. Last time out in his first start versus Jack Sisterson, it was his first race off of a gigantic layoff. And then in his prior starts, he was in against War of Will, and then in 3 grade 1 stakes races. So maybe he fits in a maiden race, second off the layoff. The dam was a very versatile multiple stakes winner. I can certainly see this horse improve. I didn't love the field he was in against last time out at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I don't want to be too hard on him for that race because it was such a long layoff. We'll see what happens. He got unfortunately for him, he got the Lucas treatment as a 2-year-old because he ran pretty well in his second career start. And after that, it was right into grade 1s and, just sort of screwed up the rest of his 2-year-old campaign, and then he didn't get to run as a 3-year-old. So, who knows how much better he can get then. It was a really long layoff last time. I'd keep an open mind with this horse, especially if he's at a good price.
I agree. The problem is he's not very good coming out of the gate. He missed it again last time. It's key for him to get out of the starting gate, but there are angles here for a very underrated trainer. The 5 is Magical Mike, and Magical Mike's taken money in both lifetime starts. When you look at this pedigree, you have to be a little bit surprised that he was 11-10 in a 6.5 furlong sprint on the dirt. Didn't break very well, saved ground, finished mildly, galloped out well. I know a lot of folks were looking forward to his turf debut last time out. I think it was disappointing that he didn't run that great, but now blinkers are on. He's back on dirt going a mile. I'm willing to give this barn a chance with blinkers.
Me too. And, going turf to dirt could maybe work for this horse too. I don't know, Dan. I was sort of on the fence with him because I did think his debut was okay. I mean, he just didn't really have the speed to sprint that day, but he was really trying through the stretch. I don't think that was a very good field, however. I don't know. I could go either way on this horse. If he's 12-1, I guess I would be positive on him.
Armando R is the number 6. This is a son of Blame out of a multiple stakes place sprinter. The second dam was a grade 2 stakes winning router, and this horse is a half to a stakes place synthetic sprinter. Last time out, he just caught a tough spot at Gulfstream West. We'll watch that race right now. He's running into Bodie Express, the 1-9 favorite, who came back to win with a 101 Beyer speed figure and then finished third in the grade 3 Harlan's Holiday with a 96 Beyer. I think all things considered, Armando R hung in there pretty well against Bodie Express.
Not too bad. Well clear for second best in this race. And he had run, 3 starts back, a figure that's going to put him in the mix here. So I can see this horse being a factor in this race.
The 7 is Felix the Fox. And I guess considering his pedigree, Mike, you have to consider him a bit of a disappointment. He's a son of Tapid. The dam was a grade 2 stakes winner going long. The second dam was the great Hall of Famer Azeri, and Shug just couldn't get this horse into the winner's circle. He's 0 for 9. 2 starts back, he was facing a bunch of turf horses. Rise the Guy's okay, came back to win a 1X on the turf with an 89 Beyer, but I thought he had a decent enough trip in that race and was simply second best. Now, we know the Shug horses sometimes improve with maturity, but I'm just not sure where the upside is coming from in start number 10.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, he has run some good races, and I'll be the first to admit I was sort of high on him early in his career. It looked like he had an awful lot of potential. He just hasn't really developed at all. A 78 Beyer in his second career start. He just keeps running the same figure over and over again, and he can't get there first. Just not the kind of horse I want to take another short price on.
Conversely, the number 8, New Hope Road, this horse is all upside, and he's got a nice pedigree and some things to like. He's by Quality Road. The dam was a grade 3 place synthetic miler. This horse himself is a half to a grade 3 place synthetic router. And in the debut, she just dropped all the way back early. She came with a run to finish third behind a horse that came back to win with an 85 at Saratoga, then was third in the grade 2 Prioress. The third dam is Weekend Surprise. It's the whole AP Indy family. She should stretch out. It's really interesting that Rusty Arnold's going to run her off the layoff against the boys.
I know. I don't like that kind of stuff, but I did think that she really ran pretty well in her debut. She actually broke with the field, too, almost like she was going to be part of the pace, and then she just dropped way out of it early. I really like the run that she put in through the stretch, though. She looks like she has some potential. It's just the right spot, Dan, against Colts, off the layoff, going a mile. I think all those things are probably going to be tough for her to overcome. But I don't really like anybody else in here, and she's going to be a good price in this spot.
Let's take a look at our top picks in here. Mike's going with the outside, the 10, New Hope Road, off the layoff for Rusty Arnold, off a pretty promising debut. I like the 5, Magical Mike. I like the blinkers on, getting back to the dirt. I think this horse will eventually want more ground down the road. The pedigree's just for really long distances. Maybe Magical Mike can stay a little bit closer to the pace here with the new blinkers. I think we both agree that the 2, Beau Luminaire, is the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think that is the horse to beat. It's just not one of those races where I was, so afraid of the favorites that I didn't mind taking a shot.
So we will take a shot. 8275 for Mike, 5724 for me. The DRF Wednesday race of the day is the 4th at Gulfstream, and it has an approximate post time of 2:31 Eastern. Good luck.